How do you get your decking from looking like this to this? Wood Finishes Direct are here to show you how. First things first, depending on the size of your decking, you'll need at least a couple of days of dry weather. I know, tricky. Tools for the job: a jet or garden hose, a stiff bristled broom, a decent sized brush for the oil application, suitable clothing including a pair of gloves, and if like me you're going to get scrubbing on your hands and knees, I'd suggest a kneeler of some sort as well. Now, the products we're going to use are Ronseal's Decking Cleaner and Reviver, Osmo's Wood Reviver Power Gel, and Mann's Premier UV Decking Oil in Light Oak. Ronseal's Decking Cleaner and Reviver is ideal for decks that have been neglected for multiple seasons. Great for getting rid of the initial dirt, grime, moss and mould. Then Osmo's Wood Reviver really does an amazing job of getting the wood back to its original colour, ready for oiling. More on that later. Give the area a good sweep. If you have decking with grooves, make sure you get right in them. You'll be amazed how much dirt and debris collects there. Now, grab your Ronseal Decking Cleaner and Reviver. They recommend pouring directly onto the decking in manageable patches. I seem to have a secret talent of accurately aiming my pouring between the decking planks rather than on top of them, so you might like to decant into something easier to pour. Once applied, give the decking a good scrub with your broom. This will generate a lather that hopefully should look pretty dirty. Always satisfying. Leave it on for a good 15 to 20 minutes before rinsing off. A tip for you: if you have a large area you're working on, I'd suggest rinsing as you go, especially if it's a warm day. Ideally, you don't want the Reviver to dry completely. Talking of rinsing, if you have a power washer, that's great, but don't get too close to the wood. The jet can really stir up the surface wood fibres. No one needs a summer of "Mum, I've got a splinter!" A standard garden hose with a spray nozzle is perfectly good if Jeff the neighbour has your power washer on extended loan. Leave it to dry to see if there are any areas you've missed on this initial scrub, and then it's probably time for a tea break. This is also a good time to check the condition of the planks and screws and replace if necessary. Next, lightly dampen the deck, ready to apply the Osmo Wood Reviver Power Gel. In your tub, you get some distractions and a hand brush. This is pretty powerful stuff, so wear clothes that don't matter and a pair of gloves. I know what you're thinking. Do I really have to do this scrubbing on my hands and knees? In my experience, this definitely worked best. It means you can give each plank a really decent going over. Yes, you can use your broom, but it doesn't do nearly as good a job. 1 litre should be enough to cover 10 metres squared. Again, hopefully you will generate an even more satisfying mess and start to see the colour come back to the wood. Let it work its magic for 20 minutes before thoroughly rinsing off. Leave the decking to dry for at least 48 hours. When you return to your decking, you should see a significant improvement in colour and cleanliness of the wood. Before applying your first coat of oil, give it another sweep to clear any new debris. And now, the satisfying bit. Open your tin of Mann's Premier UV Decking Oil and give it a good stir. We always recommend doing a test area to double check everyone is happy with the colour. This also familiarises you with how the oil behaves when being applied. Use a decent sized brush, remembering to really work into the grooves and the ends of the decking planks. You can always apply using a Mann's 147 natural decking brush. Beautifully made with natural bristles, it can also take an extension pole if your back has had enough. This stuff goes on so easily and immediately looks great. Wipe off any excess with a microfiber cloth and leave to dry for 12 hours before applying your second coat. Again, leave for 12 hours before using your newly revived deck. Super simple. If you have any questions or further tips, do leave a message in the comments section and head over to woodfinishesdirect.com, the home of the UK's wood care experts, to pick up everything you need to make your decking summer ready.